Tonight, let's start by saying Happy New Year if you were one of the few lucky people who ordered the official Outtakes with Rex Reel 2026 calendar. Then this month, you're looking at a marvelous picture of yours truly, Dave Cable, who is behind the camera tonight, and fellow producer here at BPTV, Eric Sprouse, also known as Captain Calico Drake. All three of us in one picture for one. Who could ask for more? It's a great way to start off the new year. Speaking of starting off the new year, Outtakes with Rex Reel this year will be unleashing a veritable plethora of new merchandise. I know you've already noticed the new mug on the set. Well, that's just the beginning. Wait till you see what is coming down the line. It's going to be great. There's going to be some changes in the show itself, and I think you'll like those. And finally, by the end of the first quarter, we should launch what has been promised for a while now, the official Outtakes with Rex Reel podcast. That's a lot of exciting things for our first show of the year. So let me just say that cinematic class is about to begin and your professor is in. Greetings, salutations, another sundry affair. I am your cinematic professor and purveyor of truth in movies. And on behalf of all of the cast and crew of Outtakes with Rex Reel, we'd like to wish each and every one of you, our many viewers, a very happy, safe, and prosperous 2026. Happy New Year. I hope this year everything comes rolling down your way. You know, I got to give you a little update. We're going to start off the show with a little bit of an update. A couple of shows back, I reported to you about the buyout with Paramount trying to buy out Warner Brothers and Netflix jumping in the middle of this. Just to recap quickly, what had happened was Paramount, which was bought out, the Ellison Group now has it. Let us say they are very conservative, and they are very pro-MAGA. And it has caused a ripple through the Hollywood industry because, well, that's just not allowed. They wanted to buy WB, and the people who run Hollywood said there was no way they wanted two major studios to have a conservative bent. So they met with the board of Netflix, and you will recall that both Michelle and Barack Obama are on that board, and said, we need to stop this. We can't have Paramount buy out Warner Brothers and have two conservative giant studio conglomerates. So Netflix came out and made a counter bid to Paramount's bid for the WB. Well, Paramount came out and counterbidded, if that's the correct word, Netflix's bid, and it was massive. It was like $104 billion. It was a massive amount, and the stockholders of Warner Brothers were going to make a ton of money. But the Hollywood insiders were urging the people at Warner Brothers not to take the deal because they don't want two conservative giant studios. Well, during the break, that actually happened. They took a vote and they turned down the Paramount bid in favor of the Netflix bid. Folks, think about this a little bit. You're a stockholder in a major studio and you just voted to accept less money for your buyout. Wow. Okay. Now, update. Here we go. Paramount has turned around and sued because of the vote against them claiming that this is stupid, basically. So it's back in the courts again. I told you last time I reported this that this was going to get very, very interesting and things were going to turn around. And don't be too surprised, and you hear it here first. If there's a third party that no one is talking about in this that comes in and undercuts both Netflix and Paramount and ends up with the WB, I just have a sneaky suspicion something like that is going to happen. We'll see. In the meantime, to add, I guess, sauce, to the macaroni, President Trump comes out with an edict saying that he's very much against the way Netflix is trying to change the American culture through their programming. I don't know if that's going to have a play in this or not, but it just makes things a whole lot more interesting. You're up to speed now on that. I'll have more for you on the big buyout on the next show. Right now, though, we should get to what this is all about, and that's movies. Flying Lotus is a rapper, but he's dabbled a little bit in films. And he's at it again. And I think we should take a look at his latest endeavor into celluloid. And for that, we should turn back the veils of time, back to the early Cretaceous period, and check in with the nation's first and only prehistoric film critic, Rex Reel.
Ash is a horror movie accenting music more than horror. This is natural as director and scorer is Flying Lotus, who is a prominent DJ and rapper. Ash is his 7th venture into film, and so far, his strongest. He relies heavily on writer Joni Remler, who purloins segments from other classic films, particularly John Carpenter's The Thing and Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. While the special effects are good, viewers will readily recognize the rip-off segments.
Thank you, Rex. Ash stars Eiza Gonzalez, Aaron Paul, Iko Uwais, Kate Elliott, and Flying Locust even put a small part for himself in this movie, so he pops in there too as a main character. Rex and I primarily watched this movie because we wanted to see Iko fight. I mean, that's, if he's in a movie, you expect. Unfortunately, there is only one brief fight scene. A little disappointing. Here's a look at Ash.
It's your fault. Movement at exterior airlock. Who are you?
It's me. You sent me a distress call. Do you understand this?
What are you not telling me? What's happening? Unusual life form detected.
First show of the year, there's a lot of exciting things. I got to tell you all about it in this edition of the Biz Buzz. Well, our friends at Breaking Glass Pictures are at it once again. They've put out Evidence of the Boogeyman. I don't know if you're following the Boogeyman series. I believe this is the 3rd movie in the installment. Must have been about, I want to say 3 months ago. I did a review on Revenge of the Boogeyman. It was a silly thing. I haven't seen a good Boogeyman movie, to be quite frank with you. These movies are really horrendous. But in this 3rd edition of the franchise, which keeps going strong, They are taking the legend of the boogeyman and they are turning it into a theatrical TV show. Yeah, that's the premise. Oh, and in doing that, they're going to make it found footage. God, could this get any worse?
Well, around here, paranormal is normal.
There's a malevolent presence that haunts these woods.
Hey, is anyone listening to me?
I don't know how they baked it, if they baked it.
What is that?
What was that?
You feel like you've disturbed something?
We disturbed everything.
Some people believe that the very land is cursed. A place that evil took root and never let go.
There's a trend in Hollywood. It's very noticeable. Almost every major actress has gone through this. They reach midlife and go through a type of midlife crisis where they want to still convince themselves that, you know, they have that pizzazz. They have that ability to tantalize on the silver screen. It's understandable. And mostly every actress you can name who's a little bit older has gone through this. Now it is time for Jessica Chastain to do this. She's going through her midlife crisis. So her next movie is an erotic affair thriller, but this one is going to be peppered with themes of immigration and anti-ICE.
Thank you. I want to thank my beautiful daughter, Jennifer, who soldiered by my side and helped make this foundation work the way it should.
I saw you outside. You were talking to a dancer on the street.
He is so talented. He's from Mexico. Maybe you could help him.
I'll see if the foundation can help. Everyone, this is Fernando. He's the dance teacher here.
There's no thing about Mexicans. I'm just saying we should be funding Americans. Hi, it's me.
The ballet teacher.
Is he living with you? Look, you know I want you to be happy, even have a relationship.
Fernando.
But there are limits. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Fernando, where are you? I'm worried.
What do you want?
Please come back.
I just don't want to be hiding all the time. Please, let me be.
Where's Fernando?
He hasn't been here for weeks.
When Fernando comes home, you call me? Call me immediately.
How did you find me?
Déjalo en paz.
I don't think you care what happens to me.
Bien, dile que por qué no se busca uno de su edad. I'll never abandon you.
Maybe I'll just go back to Mexico. Stop calling me.
You think you know me that well? You don't know me at all.
Can you tell me a little bit about the nature of your relationship?
Joel Edgerton. You'll remember some time ago we did an exclusive interview with his brother Nash. Nash usually plays the stuntman to Joel when he's on his movies. He pops into a movie that attempts to expose the foundations of male toxic masculinity. The film is called The Plague. Here's a look.
So what's with Eli?
Eli's got the plague. It's not funny, bro.
It's like contagious?
Incredibly, but only through touch, so if you're exposed, oh man, you just gotta wash yourself like that. Turns your brain to baby food. No brain, no nothing.
The plague is fake. So can you please tell everyone that I'm good?
Okay.
I think there's something wrong with me.
What do you mean?
I just feel something's wrong. Someone giving you a hard time, Ben.
Why are you doing this to me?
And all these movies with messages, they all come out because, it's near Oscar time and they've got to throw their hat into the ring. And they think if they give the right political message, the chances of them winning some kind of award will they're probably right. It probably does do that indeed. But Bob Odenkirk doesn't care about that at all. Bob started in a movie called Nobody. This is, 2-3 years ago? And truly nobody expected him to be in this role. It was not anything that anybody would have guessed coming down the road. And it was hilarious. It was one of the best action comedies I've seen in decades. And when Christopher Lloyd jumped in as his grandfather, it was even more. He came out with a Nobody 2. All right? Same situation. It got even sillier, and that was an awful lot of fun too. So Bob has found himself a niche that nobody really expected him to fit into. And now he's gone and teamed up with the people behind the John Wick franchise. Yeah. He's basically going to play the same character, let's say a similar character as he does in Nobody, but now he's got the John Wick people behind him to add a little bit of panache to all that going on. The movie is called Normal. It's in theaters next month. Here's a look.
Hey! Like the way you law, man.
Life in Normal is quiet, peaceful, predictable. Until it isn't.
Why are they shooting at you?
I'm at a loss.
Jesus.
That's not where I was aiming.
Welcome to Normal.
Say, there's a whole lot more for me to tell you when Outtakes with Rex Reel continues right after this. Say, one of our longest sponsors has been House of Fairuza Barber Shop, located at the corner of South Park Road and Drake Road. Well, Sam has welcomed a brand new member to the family. Not the barbershop family, his family. So as a result, well, the schedule's gotten a little sketchy at best. Let's put it that way. You can find out what time Sam and all of his barbers are available by using the Booksy app. They use that exclusively to book all of their appointments. And if you go onto the Booksy app, it is up to date and it figures in all that extra time that Sam has to spend taking care of the new little one. So check it out today on Booksy. And you know what? I've got to tell you something. For Christmas, somebody very nice, someone who watches this show, went and bought me a gift certificate to House of Fairuza for the Businessman Special. All right? So I quickly went down and took advantage of it. Oh my God, people, this is great. If you just want, you got to block out 90 minutes. It's that long. But if you just want to feel tremendous when the whole thing is over and done with, it's the Businessman's Special. It comes highly recommended by your cinematic professor. Call down there today. Find out all about it. That's House of Fairuza Barber Shop, located at the corner of Drake Road and South Park Road. Gabriel Mastracci Art.com would like to say thank you to everyone who took advantage of the Christmas card special and bought the exclusive Tactical Santa Christmas cards and sent them out. I know I bought a package, I sent them out, and everybody who received one, we got thumbs up. Most unique Christmas cards that were out this season. So on behalf of Gabe, thanks very much for those of you that bought them. He is working on a brand new graphic novel. I've had the opportunity to see some of the splash pages for this thing. It is amazing. And some of those splash pages are going to be offered before the release of the comic as special incentive prizes. I'll let you know on the show when they come out and show you samples of those. They're going to be absolutely amazing and a great collector's edition for the release of the brand new graphic novel. There are all kind of deals coming. Stick right here and we'll be sure to tell you about it. GabrielMastracciArt.com. Welcome back to the show. You know, I've got to throw a little caveat before the review on this movie. Movies that are usually set up primarily for racial propaganda, I try to avoid those like the plague. I mean, they basically say, you know, white is bad, black is good. And I can't be bothered with that kind of stuff. But, there's always a but. This movie is one of those movies, but it's really good and it's done exceptionally well. The exception to the rule. Now, I got to throw in another caveat here because stories that are made into movies from a different media, from a different source, should not be the same as the original source. All right? That's one thing I always harped on my students. If you read a novel and you like that novel, and when you go see the movie, you want to see exactly what was in that, and you're approaching this wrong. They're two separate. Best example is probably one of the best movies made, Jaws. All right? Now, if you read Jaws, the novel by Peter Benchley, you know that story is considerably different than the movie that won all the accolades and the awards, especially the character of Hooper. It has a totally different feel to it. By the time we get into the movie, a much different feel, and it works better that way in the movie. That's what makes that movie so much better. All right? Now, having said that, let me tell you that decades ago, back in 1964, Amiri Baraka wrote a play called The Dutchman. Now, Baraka was not one of the, he was one of the better racial writers at the time. These were black men who wrote primarily to support the civil rights movement, which was going on real big back in the early 60s. Okay, this was a big thing. And these writers were furthering the cause. And while Baraka may not be one of the initial names that comes up when you mention that period, he certainly was a strong one in that. And his play, The Dutchman, was actually a warning to his black brothers to avoid evil white women. They would cause their destruction. Now, his theory was that as black men began to jump the racial border and start dating or trying to marry whatever white women, that they would lose their culture. And he thought that was absolutely horrible. So when he wrote this play, The Dutchman, it's all about a woman, a white woman, who rides a subway, and her purpose is to meet and then seduce black men so that she can literally destroy them. She either gets them tossed into jail or fix up some cockamamie thing, gets them to think that, you know, she's in love with them, and then really messes up their life. And what makes it even more sinister, the play, is that the conductor who works this subway train, he's kind of in on it. He knows what she does, and every time she succeeds in destroying a black life, you know, he nods and smiles and realizes she's done her job. Okay? All right. That's the original play. Now, this story happens on a subway, and we have the black man and the white woman, but the story changes dramatically in this movie version. This version was written and directed by Andre Gaines. And to talk about how this movie has shifted from the play to the film, we should probably go back once again to the early Cretaceous period. Peel back those veils of time and check in with the nation's first and only prehistoric film critic, Rex Regal.
Clay, played by Andre Holland, is a successful black businessman, but he has a troubled life. His wife is an adulteress, and though she has returned to him, he is torn between his love for her and his anger at her infidelity. They attend therapy sessions, but the therapist is more than he seems, an aged man who has dabbled in the forces of life, best left alone. Those forces manifest in Lula, a temptress on the subway who brings danger, lust, intrigue, murder, and revenge into Clay's life. The Dutchman is like most racial-themed movies, preaching that black is good and white is bad, but Gaines adds an element of fate and the supernatural, bringing a sense of bizarre elements and twisted destiny, making the movie quite enjoyable.
Thank you, Rex. I got to tell you, folks, I really enjoyed watching this movie. Clay is played by Andre Holland, as Rex had mentioned. Lula is played by Kate Mara. They are excellent. They put in really strong performances, and it's just fun watching them. Aldous Hodge and Zazie Beetz round out the cast of this movie. In homage to the original playwright, Steve Henderson plays Dr. Amiri. There's the homage. He's the rather manipulative therapist that the couple goes to see. Behind the camera, Frankie DeMarco serves as DP, and Joel Vertel is the editor. They both do yeoman duty on this movie. But exceptional is Dan Hart. Dan Hart is the musical scorer, and he has penned a score that is very listenable, if I can use that word, but it's also kind of eerie too, and it fits in well with the story. I think you'll enjoy it very much. If I have one beef with this movie, it's that this movie version treats the topic of infidelity very poorly. And that's really the only flaw I can find with it. Other than that, I think you're going to like this a lot.
If you talked more, we could have avoided all of this.
All I have to do is just talk more for you to not sleep with another man.
Would it make you feel better if you did it too?
Hello.
Do I know you?
You think I'm exciting, right? Would you like to be down with me?
What do you want?
Take me to that party.
How do you know about the party?
Who is she?
Don't know. But it's like she knows everything about me.
So how'd you meet? We've always known. Goes beyond time. Something's wrong with you.
This can't be real.
Clay, you're trapped in a cycle of yearning, despair, defeat. You have to dismantle your curse.
What curse?
What do you think we've been talking about all this time?
Say, if you're like me and you're not watching movies, then you're probably watching hockey. And if that's the case, you don't want to miss In the Crease with Bob Nelson and yours truly. A brand new episode is dropping next week. Be sure to catch it. I would love to talk more movies with you right now, but we are fresh out of time. So I have to say that now that you have learned what you have learned, here endeth your lesson.